So, this is Sherwood. I'm going to see if I can find the forest. We're on the road to High Cliff State Park. I might check it out, might not. We'll see. I have never been up to this park before, but I heard it has very, very stunning views of Lake Winnebago. So, that was High Cliff State Park. They were asking for an admission fee or an admission pass, but you couldn't pay at the window and you couldn't pay at the self-pay center. Apparently you have to do it online, so, you know, I wasn't going to risk it getting, you know, in trouble for not having a pass, so I just turned around and came back. I want to get a park pass though, because there's lots of beautiful state parks, and it's pretty cheap to have a pass, like it's under $30 I think for the year. Granted, we're in May now, but the end of May actually, but I'd still like to get one. And this is the northernmost point. Well, probably not the most northern point, but the most accessible one I found so far of Lake Winnebago. So we are on the north end. Menasha, Oshkosh down there, Fond du Lac, opposite end. I don't even know this if you can see all the way down there. There's a little bit of like land over the horizon. You probably won't be able to see it though. I think that's the southern end of the lake, but yeah, we are at the north end of Lake Winnebago right now, and they got hit with a whole lot of rain last night up here. Down where I live, we didn't get hit bad, but here it kind of just kept coming and coming and coming, so the lake's pretty dirty. But yeah, here's Lake Winnebago from the north end. People outside boating. Over in that direction there is High Cliff State Park. Ooh, I just saw a fish jump up. You know, my camera, my timing with the camera is not very good. There's a fish right there messing around in the water again. Or a bird. No, that's a fish. Beautiful day. It's less humid today. It's not as warm. There's another fish jumping. Less humid. Temps in the low 60s. So now we go down the more populated side of the lake. Oshkosh, Neenah, Menasha, Fond du Lac. So we should be able to find a lot of neat, quirky stuff there. Ten Commandments. Kind of wonder how many of those actually apply to people nowadays. Some in Menasha, downtown Menasha. There's Beatitudes on the other side. But the reason I stopped is I was driving in Menasha and noticed this church, the steeple sticking out. And I thought that's a very interesting form of architecture. You don't see very many steeples that look like that. I'm trying to figure out what those little spiky things are. Maybe to keep birds from landing on there? I don't know. Let's go right over here. Everybody knows why there's little spiky things on those little balls there. Comment below the video. Let me know what those are used for. No, they just don't make churches like they used to. Can only imagine how beautiful it is on the inside. So we are now here in like downtown Menasha area. And I'm off by a street. Missed it by that much. But we'll get there. We always do, don't we? I'm in downtown Menasha. And it's very stinky here. There is a paper mill close by, so I'm guessing that's what it is. But yeah, it's pretty stinky around here. I'm not trying to diss you, Menasha. You just got some certain funk to you. Saw this mural, and I thought I would show everybody the mural. It's pretty neat looking. Look at that. That is very well done piece of art. So this is Curtis Reed Square right here. And Curtis Reed apparently was often referred to as the father of Menasha. He arrived from Vermont in June of 1848 with dreams of harnessing the water power. He erected the first building, built the first dam, and was instrumental in having the village chosen as the site of the government canal, which opened Menasha for commerce and industry. Much of the early development of our city can be attributed to the effort of Curtis Reed. It was kind of hard to read that, but it was on this plaque here. So that gentleman there had a whole lot to do with the development of Menasha as a city. I really enjoy this older architecture and the fact that they kept these buildings free from, maybe they were renovated at one time and didn't look the same, but I like the fact that they kept this area like it was. So very nice. He Who Walks with Thunder by David Spellerberg. Very interesting. Now this block here has some paranormal history. My sister and I, we do a ghost walk up in Appleton, and last year was our first year and it was quite successful, and we're hoping to do it again this year, but it's a little different with all the things that are going on. I did see some people on Facebook that who have tours that are going to do the tours this year, so hopefully we're going to be able to do ours too. Now, part of our tour, we actually talk about Menasha because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in Menasha. This particular block has a lot of paranormal activity. Wild Apple, which is right across the street here. It seems like this whole block has paranormal activity. So we do this as part of the tour. We do the stop of Menasha, you know, even though we're in Appleton, which is about 5 miles away. We do the tour downtown in Appleton, but we included this stop because the whole block just seems to have some kind of paranormal activity going on. So if you want to know about the paranormal activity, that was a teaser, of course. Come on the Appleton. If we do the tours this year, it's the Appleton Haunted History and Mystery Tour. My sister and I do it. Usually starts September, goes through October, early November. Last year we didn't get to finish it up because of the weather. The weather got really crummy real quickly. So like the last week of tours never got done. Hopefully the weather this year will be more cooperative. And yeah, so there's a little teaser for you if you want to know more about that block that we just walked past. Oh, look at this. Another Indian. So come on the tour. You know, I need to put a link up for the ghost tour website because I don't remember what it is offhand. I know, is that terrible of me or what? But here's one of the bridges that go across. There are dams in this area. And the water's pretty high. Like I said, they got a lot of rain up here last night and yesterday, as opposed to where I live, about 60 miles south. I'd like to go into some of those shops and talk to the people about if there's any more activity going on there, but you know, they got enough to worry about right now, and they might not even be open, so maybe another time. It's a nice little riverfront area they have here in Menasha. Never really noticed this before. I think we're on Doty Island, or that's Doty Island there, crossing the river. Anyways, there's a little piece of land called Doty Island, and we have some columns here. So let's get a shot of this, because this area was big on paper products and mills, and not as much anymore. Some of the paper companies have left, closed up, but they have this. It says print, paper, then there's some columns. that light up at night, which probably looked pretty darn cool, but unfortunately I'm not able to see that, and that says Pails and Flower. There's a little plaque up here. I just want to see what it says. Oh, well, there you go. The columns, these 22 feet tall Corinthian monolithic limestone columns, were part of the historic facade of the First National Bank of Menasha, built in 1916 in the Greek Revival style by Childs and Smith of Chicago. The building was located at 175 Main Street. Each column weighs roughly 7.5 tons. And today these pillars proudly mark the spot where the old Mill Street Bridge entered downtown Menasha. Huh. See what you learn just by staying off the freeway, checking out the smaller towns. You learn a lot, folks. You learn a lot. If that's your thing. And you're on my channel, so that must be your thing. So, yeah, this one's going to be a little tougher to read because of the sun. It says Elisha D. Smith Public Library. On July 17th, 1897, industrialist and philanthropist Elisha Dickinson Smith, 1827 and 1899, donated the site to the city of Menasha for a library, together with the funds for the building, books, and an endowment. Architectural plans were made by Ryan Wren and Deglicki, and construction by C.F. Ahrens or Ehrlers. Oof, it's hard to read. Both in Milwaukee. Ground was broken February 12th, 1898, and the dedication was held October 21st, 1898. The neoclassic revival building was built of Bedford limestone. Wide stone steps led to there's periods, but you can't really see them, so sorry about that. So wide stone steps led to an arcade of 3 arches, an iconic colonnade of 7 bays graced the second story. For 71 years, the library fulfilled Elisha D. Smith's vision for a cultural and educational center. A new library building was constructed on First Street in 1969. This magnificent edifice stood on this site until 1989. So eventually they tore it down. That's a shame. And now it's a parking lot. Wasn't that Joni Mitchell? They paved Paradise and put up a parking lot. And there's March 18th, AD 1898. Boy, there's a lot of little history and artifacts. Just neat stuff down here. Menasha's pretty neat little downtown. One more look of downtown. At least part of the main strip of downtown Menasha.